I thought I was in control. Then she looked at me like I was not supposed to know. She walked away, and that is when I realized I would crossed the wrong line.
The bus always arrived at 11:12. Give or take a minute, breathing out warm air and a tired hiss like it had been holding something in all day. The stop sat under a flickering streetlight on the edge of a strip mall in Northern California. The kind of place where one nail salon replaced another every few years and nobody noticed. There was a bench with a crack down the middle and a trash can that smelled faintly sweet from old soda. She stood there most nights with her hands in her coat pockets, shoulders slightly hunched, like she was bracing for wind that never really came. Her name was Lily. At least that was the name she gave the driver when he asked for her pass the first time. She kept her eyes down and counted the cracks in the sidewalk while the light buzzed overhead. Evan first noticed her because she never looked at her phone. Everyone else did. The man in scrubs, the college kid with headphones, the older woman with grocery bags. Lily just stared at the street, at the same darkened storefront across the road, as if she was waiting for something to change. The bus doors opened and people filed on. Evan hesitated, then stepped back to let her go first. She nodded without meeting his eyes and dropped a few coins into the fare box. Coins. That stuck with him. Almost nobody used coins anymore. He sat 2 rows behind her, watching the reflection of her face in the window as the bus pulled away. The city slid by in quiet streaks of light. Her reflection looked tired, but calm, like she had learned how to carry things without letting them show. When she stood to get off 20 minutes later, he surprised himself by standing too. He hadn't planned it. He told himself it was coincidence. The bus hissed again and left them both under another streetlight, this one steadier, less anxious. They walked in the same direction without speaking. The sidewalk narrowed. Somewhere a dog barked. At the corner, she stopped. "This is me," she said softly, finally looking at him. Her eyes were clear, steady. There was no question in them, just a statement. "Oh yeah," he said. "Me too." He smiled, awkward. He had never been good at endings, especially unexpected ones. She nodded once, turned, and walked down a short block toward a row of older apartments. Evan watched until she disappeared, then kept going another 2 blocks to his own place, a studio above a closed dry cleaner that smelled faintly of chemicals even after years. That night, as he lay on his mattress listening to the upstairs neighbor pace, he pictured the way she stood at the bus stop, hands in her pockets, eyes on nothing in particular. He didn't know why it stayed with him. It just did. They started talking the next week. Nothing big. Comments about the bus running late, the streetlight that still flickered, the weather that never seemed to make up its mind. Her voice was quiet but steady. She chose her words carefully, like each one cost something. Evan liked that. He filled space too easily sometimes. With her, he slowed down. "What do you do?" he asked one night, immediately regretting it. People always asked that like it explained everything. She shrugged. "I work." She smiled a little, like she knew he would accept that. And he did. He told her about his job fixing printers for a medical supply company, how he drove all over the county, crawling under desks, listening to people complain about paper jams like it was the worst thing that could happen. He made it sound funny. He always did. They sat together on the bus now. Sometimes their knees touched when it got crowded. Neither of them moved away. She got off at the same stop every night. Sometimes he did too, even when it meant walking farther home. They would walk together in companionable silence, the kind that felt earned, not awkward. One evening it rained, the kind of light, stubborn rain that soaked you anyway. They huddled under the overhang of a closed laundromat, laughing quietly at themselves. "You can come in for a minute if you want," she said, gesturing toward her building. "Just to dry off." Her apartment was small, clean, almost bare. A couch with a blanket folded neatly over one arm. A table with 2 chairs. No pictures on the walls. A single lamp that cast a warm, careful light. She made tea on a small stove. He noticed the way she rinsed the mug before pouring, the way she set it down exactly in front of him. Everything about her movements felt intentional. "You don't have much stuff," he said, then winced. He didn't mean it as a judgment. She smiled. "I move around a lot." He believed her. He always believed her. They started seeing each other outside the bus stop. Coffee from the place that closed early. Walks through the park where the trees muffled the city sounds. She never suggested anything expensive. Neither did he. Felt easy, equal. Sometimes he would catch her looking at him with an expression he couldn't quite read, like she was memorizing something. He would ask what, and she would shake her head. Nothing, she'd say. Just thinking. Evan filled in the blanks without realizing it. The coins for the bus. The small apartment. The lack of photos, of clutter, of roots. He told himself a story where she was getting by, where life had been careful with her and she had learned to be careful back. He paid for coffee more often than not. He didn't mind. It made him feel useful, steady. When they talked about the future, it was vague. Someday. Maybe. Words that didn't commit to anything solid. He invited her to his place one night. He cooked pasta on his hot plate and apologized for the cramped space. She said it was cozy and meant it. They lay on his bed afterward, the city humming through the thin walls. She traced a small scar on his forearm with her finger. "How did you get this?" she asked. "Bike accident when I was 12, he said. "I was trying to show off." She smiled, then her expression softened. "You've always been like that, haven't you?" "Like what?" "Trying to be enough." The words landed gently, but they stayed. He wanted to ask how she knew that, but he didn't. Some things felt fragile if named. A few weeks later, he started talking about moving. His lease was up. Rents were going up. He joked about finding a place with 2 rooms so he could pretend he had an office. She listened. Quiet. "You could come with me," he said, half joking, half not. She looked at him for a long moment. The hum of the refrigerator filled the space between them. "I can't," she said finally. He tried to keep his voice light. "Right, of course. It's complicated," she added, but didn't explain. He nodded, told himself not to push. But something shifted then, a small tilt. He started to notice other things. How she never talked about her past. How she never introduced him to anyone. How she always paid in cash even when it seemed inconvenient. He began to worry in a way that embarrassed him. About her. About whether she was okay. About whether he could help. One night, walking her home, he said, if things ever get tight, you can tell me." She stopped under the streetlight, the steady one. Looked at him with those clear eyes. "Thank you," she said. "I know." The way she said it closed the conversation. He felt foolish, standing there with his concern like an offering that had been gently refused. Not long after that, she pulled away. Just a little. Missed a bus. Canceled a walk. Always with a soft apology. When he finally asked what was wrong, she took a long breath. "I don't think this is fair to you," she said. "Fair how?" The words came slowly. "I'm not who you think I am." He laughed a little too quickly. "I don't think you're anything. I just like you." She smiled, sad this time. "That's the problem." They stood there, the night wrapped around them. Somewhere a siren wailed. Distant. "I should go," she said. And then she did. She walked away, not down the block to her apartment, but the other direction, toward the main road. Evan watched until she was gone. A hollow opening in his chest he couldn't name. The bus stop felt different without her. The light still flickered. The bench still cracked. But the space beside him stayed empty. He moved apartments. A little farther out. Cheaper. He kept fixing printers. Life went on in a way that felt insulting in its normalcy. Sometimes he thought he saw her. A figure with the same walk. The same coat. It was never her. Months passed. He told the story of the almost relationship to friends, leaving out the parts that felt too personal. They nodded, offered theories. She was afraid of commitment. She had secrets. She wasn't ready. He accepted these explanations because they were easier than sitting with the not knowing. One afternoon, he was sent to service a printer at a downtown office building he had never been to before. The lobby was all glass and quiet confidence. He felt underdressed in his company polo. He checked in at the desk, took the elevator up. The office was spacious, light pouring in from floor to ceiling windows. People moved with purpose, speaking in low tones. He followed the directions to the printer room, fixed the jam, tested a page. As he turned to leave, he heard a familiar voice. Evan. He froze, then turned. Lily stood there, but not as he knew her. Her hair was pulled back neatly. She wore a simple dress that somehow made the room feel more formal. She looked the same and entirely different. Hi, he said stupidly. She smiled, tentative. I didn't know it was you today. You work here, he said, stating the obvious. She nodded. Yes. A woman approached them, glanced at Lily. We're ready for you. I'll be right there, Lily said, then turned back to Evan. Can we talk? Later. He nodded, still trying to catch up. Sure. She scribbled something on a card, pressed it into his hand. Tonight. He walked out of the building in a daze. The city suddenly too bright. He looked at the card. An address. Time. That evening, he stood outside a house in the hills. The kind he had only driven past, never into. The driveway curved. The lights glowed warm against the dark. He rang the bell. She opened the door. Inside, the house was quiet, spacious without being cold. There were photos on the walls here. Family, travel, smiles caught mid-moment. I should have told you, she said, leading him to the living room. Her voice sounded like it used to at the bus stop. Careful, steady. He sat on the edge of a couch that probably cost more than his car. He didn't comment. My last name is Caldwell, she said. My family started a software company in the 90s. It grew. I inherited most of it when my parents died. The words hung there, simple, devastating. I'm very wealthy, she said. Billionaire is the word people like to use. I don't. He nodded slowly. Pieces fell into place. The moving around. The lack of roots. The way she had looked at him, memorizing. I didn't lie to you, she said quickly. I just didn't tell you everything. He thought of the coins, the small apartment, the way she had refused his concern. Why, he asked. She sat across from him. Because I wanted to be seen. Not as that. I wanted something normal. I wanted to know if someone would choose me without knowing. He swallowed. And me. She met his eyes. Yes. Silence stretched. The house creaked softly, settling. I'm sorry I left the way I did, she said. I was starting to care too much. And I could tell you were building a picture of me that wasn't true. I didn't want to watch it break. He let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. You could have trusted me. I know. She smiled sadly. I wasn't ready to risk it. They talked for hours. About her childhood, about his assumptions. About the space between who people think they are and who they are alone at night. When he left, the night air felt different. He sat in his car, hands on the wheel, heart heavy and light at the same time. They didn't get back together. Not right away. Maybe not ever in the way he had once imagined. They met for coffee, quietly. Talked like two people who had walked a long way apart and found themselves on the same road again. Sometimes they rode the bus together just for old times. She paid with a pass now. He noticed and smiled. One night, standing at the familiar stop, she said, I never needed you to take care of me. I know, he said. I just wanted you to sit next to me. He did. The bus came. The doors hissed. The city moved around them, indifferent and beautiful. If this story touched you in any way, subscribe for more stories like this. You can like and share it with someone who thinks a lot on the ride home. And tell me in the comments, what would you have done if you were him?